If you haven't heard about Anchor yet, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free and there's no charge. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more music apps.
You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you'll ever need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started on your podcast today.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Early Morning PJ Podcast. Today is kind of going to be a shorter episode dedicated to a lot of NBA talk with the playoffs starting this past weekend. Week considering the play-in tournament.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into some UFC fights that Jacob has to talk about, and then we'll get into some trendy sports news as well. So, with that being said, let's just kind of get right into the NBA playoffs. So let's wrap up the play-in tournament. Obviously, the Warriors were eliminated with losses to the Lakers.
0-2 in the play-ins.
0-2 in the play-ins with losses to the Lakers and the Grizzlies. Ja Morant played out of his mind in that game against the Warriors. So in the West, I know you have the Jazz against the Grizzlies, Suns versus the Lakers, and then
Clippers Mavs is the 4-5,
Clippers, Mavs.
and then Nuggets and who's the
Blazers.
6 seed? Blazers.
Yeah, that
They play
series
last
started last night. And then obviously in the Eastern Conference side of the bracket, for the play-ins, you had Washington. They went 1-1 in the play-ins. They lost to the Celtics, and they went on and beat the Pacers to earn a spot in the playoffs and play the Sixers today. That series starts today at 1 o'clock. And then you have the Celtics obviously clinching a playoff berth. They started their series yesterday against the Nets, and the Nets beat them by like 10, I think.
It was a low-scoring game.
Yeah. Honestly, what I'm kind of looking for as a Sixers fan with the Nets is I just want the teams they play to give them a good series. Like if they can play series of like 6 or 7 games and get worn down throughout those series, I think that kind of sets up perfectly. That plays in the hands of whoever comes out of the other side of the bracket, hopefully the Sixers. So.
Yeah.
And obviously Jacob's Heat.
The Heat played yesterday. Lost by 2 in overtime on a game-winning shot by Chris Middleton. No matter who wins this series, it's going to be a great series. These two teams match up pretty well against each other, and the Heat really didn't have a good game by any stretch of the imagination, and we only lost by 2 in overtime. So we're down 1-0, but I still have confidence that we can win the series.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's some really good. I think we've said it before previously on the podcast. There's some really good round 1 matchups, and Heat Bucks is one of them. So I'm really looking forward to
Clippers Mavs is probably the other one that comes to mind.
Clippers Mavs, and honestly, like the Celtics without Jaylen Brown, I mean, they're really down to just 2 guys, Jason Tatum and Kemba Walker, who is really not having a very good season at all. But
don't forget about Marcus Smart.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I don't expect the Celtics to
win the
series. But like I said, I'm hoping they can give the Nets like a 6 or 7 game series, wear them down the first round. That'd be perfect. So, yeah, obviously yesterday, just like Jason said, the Nuggets series started against the Blazers, and I think the Blazers won game 1, right? They won yesterday. That game was on late.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
I heard Dame Lillard had a really good game.
Melo had a good game too.
Yeah, the Blazers won.
Yeah. How many
by
points?
double digits. It was 123 to 109.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. I am too.
The Nuggets are a really good team.
Are they though?
Yeah.
They have one player. They don't have any other.
Michael Porter Jr. is averaging 21 points second half of the season.
Well, obviously it didn't work too well last night.
No, it didn't. But I mean,
And there was another Western Was there another Western Conference game last night?
Clippers,
Clippers,
Mavs.
Mavs won that.
Really?
I hope the Mavs sweep them.
So yeah, today on deck you have Sixers versus the Wizards at 1.
In
and then
12 minutes.
Yep, I know the Lakers have their series starts today against the Suns at 3:30.
The rare underdog 2 seed against the 7 seed.
I'm interested to see how that series plays out. I really feel like the Suns are underrated at this point in the season. Going into the playoffs, I like Chris Paul. I love Devin Booker. They have a chance to do some good things in the playoffs. I mean, if they could take down
I'd be utterly shocked if they beat the Lakers.
Yeah,
but
I would too. If they could take down the reigning defending champs, I mean.
Did you see how LeBron went around the COVID protocols with how he violated them, and the NBA just gave him a slap on the wrist and they're letting him play?
what
Did you
happened?
see that? He was at some event with Drake in between the playing games,
Yeah.
and because it's LeBron,
COVID protocols.
they're just gonna let
Any
him
other
play.
player should be suspended. or
Right.
something. I don't know, man. I love LeBron, and
You love LeBron?
I've loved him since he was in the league. But this year it just seems like he's just turned into, I don't know. He's just whining about everything. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, it's difficult to say who's really gonna come out of the West, in my opinion, because like Jacob just said, the 2 seed Suns are an underdog right now against the Lakers. So
what is your guys' prediction after the first round? Who's coming out of the first round in the East?
I'm split between the Sixers, the Bucks and the Heat. That really could go either way. I'll say the Heat because that's my team. It's definitely not a long shot at all.
very good series. That's probably gonna be a 6 or 7 game
yeah.
series.
And even if it doesn't go to 6 or 7, all the games are going to be close. There's not going to be a blowout in there. That's 2 of the best defensive teams in the league right there. And then Sixers, I would hope, would beat the Wizards, even though the Wizards are hot late season. I think the Nets are going to beat the Celtics. And what's the other? Who's the 4-5? Hawks, Knicks. I think the Knicks come out of that.
I'll say Sixers come out of that series. Nets obviously come out of that series. Bucks Heat, man, I don't know. I really don't know, and I feel like that game could come down to 7 games. And I'm just gonna go Bucks because they have home court advantage.
That's fair.
So I'll say Bucks.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
We lost on the road in overtime.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna say that game probably goes 7 games. Comes back to Milwaukee. Milwaukee probably gets it done against the Heat at home. And then I'll say, Knicks Hawks. I don't know. I guess the Knicks. The Hawks suck, and somehow they're the 5 seed.
They're the 4 seed.
Or whatever.
Or, I'm pretty sure.
They are the 4.
I'm
I think
pretty
they're
sure.
the 5 seed. The Knicks are 4 seed.
Are they? Well, I mean, they 4 or 5 doesn't.
Yeah, Knicks are 4, Hawks
okay.
are 5. Even though
So I'll take the Knicks in that series.
What about the West?
I'll go Clippers come out of that series. Lakers probably come out of that series. Blazers over the Nuggets in an upset. I don't know, man. Dame Lillard's different in playoffs.
Yeah,
He's different.
Yeah.
I got probably all the favorites. To be honest with you, actually no, I got the Mavs over the Clippers. I got the Mavs, Lakers, Jazz, and Nuggets. Those are my
Jazz over the Grizzlies.
pretty. That could be a sweep. I think.
Yeah,
I think it will be a sweep.
it's not gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
They're too good. John Morant's good, bro. He is
Who else is
putting
on-
that
who
team
else is
on
on
their
that
back.
roster?
Yeah,
Valanciunas.
If that's your number 2 option against
I mean,
the number
he
1
is.
seed,
Kyle Anderson,
I don't even know who that is.
Dylan
Dylan
Brooks.
Brooks.
Dylan
Dylan
Brooks,
Brooks
yeah.
is good. He's a very.
I feel like
Yeah,
it's
he's
not gonna
gotten
be a
better.
sweep. Probably 5.
They have like John Morant, who's their star, then like
John
a bunch
Morant,
of role
they
players.
looked insanely good last night or 2 nights ago against the Warriors.
They need another star for me to talk about them seriously. But
I'm excited for that series. And the Jazz have been out with it. They've been without Donovan Mitchell, haven't they? For the last couple of weeks, he's been hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, they have so much depth on that team.
Oh, the
too.
Grizzlies have Jaren Jackson Jr.
Is that your second star though?
Yeah.
No, Dylan
Yeah.
Brooks is probably the second best player.
I would argue
Jaren Jackson is underrated.
I would argue Dylan Brooks is the second best player on that team. I'm a big fan of Dylan Brooks.
I'm a huge fan of John Morant. I love John Morant. I've loved him since he was at Morehead State or whatever it was. Murray State.
Morehead State.
Oh, who went to Morehead State? Danny Woodhead, I think, went to Morehead State. There's some knowledge for you. I'm pretty sure.
We about to get the game on.
Yeah, 6 minutes.
But
you want to do award predictions?
Yeah,
End of the
we
year
can.
awards?
We can.
I'll let you start since there's going to be a lot of Sixers in your prediction.
Nah. I mean, realistically, at this point in the season, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know who my defensive player of the year is.
I'll say Simmons as bias, but I don't think Embiid's going to win MVP because nobody likes the Sixers.
I don't think
Nobody
that's
likes Embiid.
why.
No, it is.
No,
I mean,
Jokic is an
Why?
assist away from averaging a triple-double at center, shooting 50, 40, 90. I don't think you understand how insane that is.
I mean, like, what do you want me to say, bro? He's the
That-
only player
that
on
was
his.
why.
I mean, he's the only player on his team. Of course, his
No,
numbers.
he's not.
the only player.
Dude,
He is the only player on that team.
Michael Porter Jr. is averaging
Oh my
22 points since Jamal Murray went down with his injury. 22 points a game.
He should. Those numbers are gonna increase
On
because
like,
he's
70% true shooting. Like, Michael Porter Jr. is legit.
I just don't feel like. If you're asking me who's a better player, Jokic or Embiid, hands down. But if you look at the stats this year, like obviously Jokic has better stats because he's a better passer. He's like the only facilitator on his team. Embiid is playing with three other. Huh?
Campazzo's a facilitator.
Well, I mean, Embiid's playing with 2 or 3 other
Scary.
guys. That
Oh,
are,
Aaron Gordon? He's just like
Aaron Gordon's not good.
oh my!
I'm sorry.
Aaron Gordon is
Will Barton.
Will Barton's
washed.
good. They have a lot of players.
Embiid is the like two.
Paul Millsap? Is he still on the?
Yeah,
Really?
pretty sure.
Does he play?
He's
No,
like
he's not on
it's
the
like
Nuggets team.
is he?
No, I don't think
Where
he
is he?
is.
He's on the Nuggets.
I don't.
I mean,
think
he's a
he
role
is.
player.
Pretty sure he is.
He's not what he used to be, but yeah.
I mean, Embiid's like the second or third facilitator on his team. He's not asked to go pass the ball 1,000 times a game. I mean, it's just not what he does. He plays under the basket like a normal center would.
I don't know.
He's
I don't know if
dominant.
you could say he plays underneath the basket.
If Embiid and if you go back and look at their numbers against each other, I guarantee you Embiid is having better numbers statistically.
I think they both probably put up a lot of points against each other. To be
I don't
honest.
think no. I don't know. I feel like Embiid has probably shut him down. Not shut him down
I don't know about
completely.
that.
But Jokic is the kind of guy that like if he's gonna like, let's say a 5-on-5 matchup like Embiid and Jokic, Embiid's dominating that matchup. Jokic has the kind of athleticism to go play like a 4, drop down and play a 4, so that he's seeing like I don't know, he's seeing Tobias Harris over rather than Embiid. Like I don't know that Jokic is probably more athletic, more of a facilitator than Embiid is. Embiid's a true center. And the fact that Embiid is even he's a top 3 finalist, and he's probably going to finish second as a center, that's still insanely good.
Yeah.
Just like I said, if you had to ask me like who's the better player between the two, Embiid.
I think it
wins,
depends on what you want from a player. I mean, either answer is really fine for who's better, in my opinion. They're on the same tier. Those two are like the A-tier centers, and you have probably Cat and Bam on the next tier, and then I probably would have to put Gobert on that tier, and then
Jokic isn't like a true. I guess he's a true.
I mean, you don't have to be. I mean, basketball is moving towards, guys who are skilled over positional role-filling players, which I think is a good thing. But
Yeah. Anyways, defensive player of the year, I'll go with Simmons. MVP, Jokic. Offensive player of the year,
That's not a thing.
I don't know. I don't know who I'm going to say.
Sixth man of the year.
Sixth man?
I don't know. Shake Milton? Like,
Shake?
who's the sixth man?
It's Derrick Rose, Jordan Clarkson, and Joe Ingles.
Clarkson.
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 Yeah.
Derrick Rose is in that conversation.
Is Lou Williams still in the conversation?
No.
Derrick Rose
Sweet Lou.
sucks. He's washed.
He doesn't
D
suck.
Rose.
Bro, he comes up.
D Rose does not.
He doesn't suck. He
He
doesn't.
does not suck.
He's been. He has sucked.
Your word choice there is just.
But he's literally been terrible this year since, until he got traded.
If Jordan Clarkson doesn't win Sixth Man of the Year, that's a felony.
Until he got traded. There's just like nobody else. Like Lou Williams.
Who's your coach of the year pick?
Doc Rivers.
He's not a finalist.
Who's the
Wait, they
finalist?
have-
How is he not a
Monty
finalist?
Williams of the Suns. It's Quinn
Oh,
Snyder
it's
of the
gonna be Monty
Jazz,
Williams.
and it's Tom Thibodeau of the Knicks.
It's gonna be Monty Williams.
It should be Monty
Of
Williams.
the Hawks? You said?
Of the Suns. Suns, Knicks, and Jazz coaches.
I mean, I guess. Like the Suns didn't even make the playoffs last year. Now they're the 2 seed.
Who's your
Yes.
general manager of the year pick?
Daryl Morey.
He might be one of them.
I mean, like.
Oh, no.
They have
I
that
know.
award?
Then yeah,
No,
they
The
did.
GM of the.
GM of the year. That's
Really?
one. Or it's called Executive of the Year.
How is there not
The
an
Nets,
offensive player
the
of year?
Nets, and the Suns GMs are two candidates. I know. I don't know who the third one is. It might be Daryl Morey, but James Jones is the Suns GM.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
former
that.
Miami Heat sniper.
I didn't know that.
Well, Daryl Morey, I mean, if you just look at all the acquisitions he was able to make with the trades and stuff, he's gotten that team to the position they're in right now, like single-handedly. And they wouldn't be there without the acquisition of what? I mean,
Yeah, TTP.
Seth Curry.
Trust the process.
As much as I can't stand Danny Green, I mean, he's played a huge role
Yeah.
in big-time moments this year. And same thing with like guys like Dwight Howard, huge bench player acquisition that they were able to make this offseason. George Hill, obviously a decent acquisition going into the playoffs, like on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Who's
And
your
then they were able to get those guys without having to give up like Thibault in them. So.
Who's your rookie of the year pick? This one's controversial.
Rookie of the
This
year?
one's probably the toughest one.
This is hard. I don't know. Melo, probably.
I mean, it's LaMelo or Anthony Edwards.
Melo.
I think so too.
I mean, Melo had a better season. I mean,
Yeah, he did miss games, but I just don't care.
Who are are there finalists?
Yeah, it's Edwards, LaMelo, and Halliburton. My picks for awards: Jokic MVP. I don't really know who my defensive player of the year is yet. I really do want to say Draymond.
what?
Like the type of defender that
What did he say?
the type of defender that I think is best is
Here we
Draymond.
go. Game's coming on, boys. Gotta get the
I don't
TV
know.
on.
Really any of the three defensive player of the
Wait,
year
so it's
candidates.
Simmons,
Draymond, and Gobert.
I mean,
Because
it's gonna be Gobert.
It's gonna be Gobert, yeah. But and then rookie of the year, I'll go Melo. Coach of the year, I'll go Monty Williams. Sixth man of the year, Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd honestly say the same thing you said.
I wish Bam was a finalist for the defensive player of the year. I don't know if it would be him, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the defensive player of the year candidates. I don't know.
All right, so we're gonna get into some Instagram questions now. I think we had a couple for NBA related topics. So Jason, go ahead and read those off.
Yeah. The first one is from JT Mazie, former guest.
Yes,
He's asking.
Not former guest. Once a guest, always a guest.
Will the Lakers make it out of the first round?
Yes.
yeah, probably.
I would be really surprised if the Suns win. I think it'll be a pretty decent series, but I don't even see it going to 6 or 7. I'll take Lakers in 5.
Next question from Ben France. He asks who's winning each first round matchup, which we kind of went
Yeah,
over.
we kind of went over.
But in how many games? So, what series do you think is going to go 6 or 7 deep?
I'll go down the list. Jazz in 4, Mavs in 7, Lakers in 5, and Nuggets in 6 in the West.
Lakers in 5?
Yeah.
You don't think that series is going to last longer
No.
than 5 games?
Then in the East, I'll say Heat in 7, Sixers in 5. Who are the other games? Knicks in 6, and I'll say, what's the other game? I'm missing one. Oh, that would be the Nets in 5. That's what I'll say.
I gotta run down every series.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Clippers in 7, Lakers in 6. I'll say Jazz in 5, and then who's the other two?
Blazers, Nugs.
Blazers in 6.
Wow.
And
That's a
then
shock.
I'll go Nets in 5, Sixers in 5, Knicks in 6, Knicks in 6, and then
Bucks Heat.
that game's going 7.
Yeah, I think that's going 7.
Bucks
anyway.
in 7. Bucks in 7.
All right. This last question comes from our sponsor, actually, FnH Thrift.
Hey,
They're asking,
FnH Thrift. Hey, go cop some merch, baby.
They're asking who's coming out of the West. So who's going to be in the finals from the West?
Ooh. There's a lot of good teams in the West. I don't think it's going to be either Mavs or Clips. I think really it boils down to Lakers, Nuggets, or Jazz for me. I want to say the Nuggets. I really do.
The Nuggets.
I do want to say the Nuggets. But
Absolutely no way.
I-
No way.
I'm gonna
Absolutely
I'm gonna
no way. There
I'm gonna make a little bit of a controversial pick just for the clicks, and I'll say the Nuggets.
we go. No way.
Yeah, I'm not on.
I like the
Lakers or Jazz? Are they on the same side? They're probably on the same. No, they're not. They're on opposite.
Well, I mean, either one of them. I mean,
Jazz.
Okay.
Lakers. I'll say.
I just don't think the Jazz have enough experience. I don't know.
And the Nuggets do without Murray.
Yeah.
The Nuggets have more experience than the Jazz.
I can't see the
with,
Nuggets
Like,
getting
Gobert
the
and Inglis, all those vets.
I'm talking like deep playoff run experience. Like I don't think the Jazz have been to the conference.
The
final.
Nuggets are not making it past the
I mean-
second round. I'll give them. Like I said, they'll lose in the first round, but even if they do win the first round, they're not making it past the second round.
I like the Nuggets a lot. You might not be so high on
No
them, but
way. Like I just don't like. I like the Nuggets. Like there's nothing wrong with them. I just don't.
there's a little bit of Embiid losing the MVP to Jokic anger.
There's no way they make any kind of run without their best player.
Their best
Well,
player.
Jokic is their second to best.
He might be their third best player now.
Murray?
Michael Porter Jr. is legit, bro.
Oh my! He just said Michael Porter Jr.
He's
is
averaging
better
22 points per game.
Murray. He's just said that. He just said
That's
Michael
a
Porter Jr.
legit
is better than
opinion.
Jamal
He's-
Murray. No, it's
He's a
not.
more versatile defender. He's a better
Bro, you're
scorer.
crazy.
That
crazy.
one's not a dilly dilly.
Yes, it is.
If
You
you
literally
say-
just said Michael Porter Jr. is better than Jamal Murray.
He legit. There's an argument to be made for this.
Bro, you're crazy. You're crazy.
I don't think you understand how good he's playing. Like
He's playing this good because Murray is out. He has to step up. He has no
yeah,
other
because
choice.
he's the main ball scorer besides.
If Murray was
Jokic
on the
now.
floor when Murray played this year, you didn't hear I knew Michael Porter Jr. was.
I mean, he wasn't playing bad.
He was mediocre. He was
He was
average
not
at best.
mediocre.
Average at best.
He was still a good player.
There's just no way Michael Porter Jr. is better than Jamal Murray. But
I'm
whatever.
sorry, but there's an argument to be made.
Speaking of FnH Thrift, I just kind of want to give them a shout out real quick. They have some really cool merchandise, just like we've been talking about the last couple weeks. It's ran by Frankie Lafferty and Hunter Becker, two Trinity graduates, two of our better friends. So go check them out and tell them EMPJ sent you for a discount.
Alright, so we're going to get into a little bit of UFC talk. So last night, there was a fight. I'm sure there was more than one, obviously, but one of note, Cody Garbrandt was defeated by Rob Font in a huge upset. Garbrandt is the former bantamweight champion, nicknamed Cody No Love, and a lot of people thought that he was going to, make his run back to the championship and eventually fight, Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling for the top spots in that division, but that's not what it's looking like anymore. So it'll be interesting to see when Aljamain Sterling returns from his neck surgery, how that division's going to shake out now with Garbrandt sinking down the rankings.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I just had to get that little news segment in for all those Cody fans listening.
All right, Peyton, let's hear how's the baseball team doing?
We're doing pretty well. Hopefully, we're into the playoffs now. This coming week we'll start the playoffs. We have a first round bye. We clinched the 2 seed, so we get a bye.
Districts, right?
Yep, districts. So we don't play till Thursday. We get the winner of a game that is tomorrow between Lancaster Catholic and Hanover. We'll get the winner of that game.
What's the scouting report on them?
They're 2 very good teams. Lancaster Catholic is pretty good. So I'm looking forward to it. It's the first time Trinity's been in the playoffs in 10 years. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity, and just like I said, we have a really good opportunity to do to make some noise and do some really good things this year in the playoffs. So I'm looking forward.
Is that game home?
It is. We get a home game on Thursday, and then if we were to win on Thursday, the district champion, we would qualify for the district championship, which is at the higher seed.
So from my inside sources, I've heard that you guys might dye your hair if you
We'll
win.
see. We'll see. We're talking about it. That's kind of more of like a states thing. If we were to make states, that might be what we do, but we still have to get there first. We got to win on Thursday to qualify for states. So.
What about the track team?
Track team participated in districts this past weekend. A lot of good running, jumping, throwing, etc. there. Shout out to Danny Britton for getting second in the 110 hurdles and qualifying for states. And congratulations to everyone else who ran and medaled and all that at districts.
Yeah, congratulations to everybody. Speaking of the track team, I know that Tyler Rossi finished 3rd.
Yeah.
Max Schleger finished 3rd, I think. So.
Yeah, for the 100.
Yeah, so congratulations to those guys on a great season, and congratulations, all the sports teams that are now in the playoffs.
Yeah, lacrosse.
Lacrosse plays tomorrow in the, I believe, semifinals, district semifinals.
Maybe, yeah.
So,
Play Hershey.
Yep, Hershey tomorrow night.
That'll be a good game.
Good luck to the lacrosse team.
Softball team, they're still on a roll.
Yeah, I believe the softball team. I'm not quite sure how or when their playoffs start. But I do know that they have a bye as well. So they probably won't play till Thursday. I believe they play Thursday, just the same as us. Oh my gosh, they can't hit a 3. But anyways, that's besides the point. Just like I said, good luck to all the Trinity athletes. And yeah.
Talk about the shirts.
Yeah, so we have some shirts left. I think 9 total left.
Yeah, 9 total.
What is it?
4
small.
4 small, 3 medium, and 2 XLs.
So if you guys fit in any of those sizes and you want a shirt, please consider getting one. We have some leftover inventory. So yeah, just DM the Instagram or talk to one of us at school or text us, whatever really works.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Jacob said about the t-shirts, just like we've said in the past, I mean, our merchandise and stuff, that's kind of going to go as far as you guys make it go. If you guys continue to purchase shirts and stuff and continue to kind of suggest the items that you guys want to see, then we'll obviously take a look at getting those things into the store. So thank you guys again, and thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.